Helena Blavatsky revolutionized our understanding of sleep when she revealed in The Secret Doctrine that what we call sleep is actually a form of temporary death, a nightly rehearsal for the final transition we call dying. This wasn't metaphorical language, but a precise description of what occurs to human consciousness during the hours we spend unconscious. According to Blavatsky, during sleep, the soul partially withdraws from the physical body, connected only by what she called the silver cord, an ethereal thread that maintains life force while allowing the consciousness to explore other dimensions. This withdrawal is so complete that the physical body enters a death-like state, which is why ancient traditions always associated sleep with the realm of the dead. The great occultist explained that this nightly separation serves multiple purposes in human evolution. First, it allows the soul to process and integrate the day's experiences on subtler planes where time and space operate differently. Second, it provides access to knowledge and guidance unavailable to the waking consciousness trapped in physical limitations. Blavatsky taught that the quality of this separation determines both the depth of physical restoration and the richness of spiritual experience during sleep. Those who approach sleep consciously with proper preparation and spiritual awareness can transform these 8 hours into profound periods of learning and evolution. Modern science has confirmed aspects of Blavatsky's teachings, discovering that during deep sleep, the brain undergoes processes remarkably similar to death, clearing toxins, consolidating memories, and regenerating in ways that mirror the soul's preparation for its ultimate departure from physical existence. Understanding sleep as temporary death removes fear from both experiences and reveals them as natural aspects of consciousness, exploring different states of being. Chapter 2. The Three Bodies and Their Nightly Separation. In Isis Unveiled, Blavatsky described the human being as composed of multiple interpenetrating bodies, each with different functions and characteristics. Understanding this complex constitution is essential to comprehending what truly happens during sleep and why your soul travels to other realms every night. The physical body, or sthula sharira, is the dense material vehicle we identify with during waking hours. This body requires rest, repair, and regeneration, which occurs most efficiently when consciousness withdraws from it during sleep. But this withdrawal is not complete unconsciousness. It's a shift of awareness to subtler vehicles. The astral body, or linga sharira, is the ethereal double that contains the blueprint for physical form and serves as the bridge between matter and consciousness. During sleep, this body can separate from the physical while remaining connected by the vital silver cord. Most dreams occur when consciousness operates through this astral vehicle. The mental body, or kamarupa, houses desires, emotions, and lower thoughts. This vehicle often dominates dream experiences, creating scenarios based on daily concerns, fears, and wishes. However, when purified through spiritual practice, it becomes a clear channel for higher knowledge during sleep states. Blavatsky taught that advanced souls can consciously control this separation, choosing to operate through different vehicles for specific purposes. They might use the astral body to visit distant locations, the mental body to communicate with other souls, or even access the causal body to receive direct spiritual instruction. The degree of control over these separations determines whether sleep becomes a period of confused dreaming or conscious exploration of invisible worlds. This knowledge transforms sleep from passive unconsciousness into active spiritual practice. Chapter 3. Hidden Truth. No. 1. Your Soul Reviews. Karmic Lessons. Nightly. The first hidden truth Blavatsky revealed is that during sleep, your soul conducts a nightly review of karmic lessons, processing the day's experiences through the lens of spiritual evolution. This isn't the random neural activity modern science describes, but a systematic evaluation conducted by the higher self. In The Key to Theosophy, Blavatsky explained that the soul uses sleep periods to assess which experiences contributed to spiritual growth and which created new karmic obligations. This review occurs on the mental plane, where the soul can perceive the energetic consequences of all thoughts, emotions, and actions from the day. The process begins as the physical body enters deep sleep and consciousness withdraws to subtler planes. Here, the higher self, the immortal aspect of human nature, evaluates each interaction, decision, and response from the day. Experiences that aligned with spiritual principles create positive impressions, while actions driven by selfishness or ignorance generate karmic debts requiring future balancing. This nightly review explains why we sometimes wake with sudden insights about problems or relationships. The soul, operating from higher perspective during sleep, recognizes patterns and consequences invisible to the limited waking consciousness. These revelations filter down as intuitions, dreams, or sudden clarity upon awakening. Blavatsky taught that individuals can enhance this process through conscious preparation before sleep. By briefly reviewing the day with sincere self-examination, acknowledging mistakes, and setting intentions for growth, we assist the soul's nightly work and accelerate our spiritual evolution. Those who consistently engage in this practice report increased wisdom, better decision-making, and accelerated resolution of karmic patterns. The soul's guidance becomes increasingly accessible, transforming sleep into a powerful tool for spiritual advancement. Chapter 4. Hidden Truth, Number 2. Communication with Spiritual Guides and Deceased Souls. The second profound truth Blavatsky revealed is that during sleep, your consciousness gains access to communication with spiritual guides, masters, and souls who have transitioned beyond physical existence. This communication occurs naturally on the astral and mental planes, where the barriers of physical matter don't obstruct spiritual connection. In The Secret Doctrine, Blavatsky described how advanced souls who have completed their earthly evolution continue to guide humanity's development. These masters, as she called them, often communicate with their students during sleep states when the lower mind's resistance is minimal and the soul's receptivity is heightened. The communication doesn't always occur through words or images that the waking mind would recognize. Often, it manifests as direct transmission of knowledge, sudden understanding of complex spiritual principles, or intuitive insights that seem to arise spontaneously. The soul receives this guidance and gradually filters it to the conscious mind through dreams, meditations, or moments of inspiration. Blavatsky also taught that we frequently encounter souls of deceased family members, friends, and spiritual companions during sleep. These meetings serve multiple purposes: completing unfinished emotional business, receiving guidance from those now possessing broader perspective, and maintaining the eternal bonds that transcend physical death. The key to enhancing this communication lies in purifying the mental and emotional bodies through spiritual practice. When these vehicles become clear channels rather than distorting filters, the soul can more readily receive and remember guidance from higher sources. Many students report that after studying Blavatsky's teachings and preparing consciously for sleep, their dreams become filled with meaningful instruction, problem-solving insights, and profound spiritual experiences that accelerate their development far beyond what daytime study alone could achieve. Chapter 5. Hidden Truth, Number 3. Astral Travel and Exploration of Invisible Worlds. The third revolutionary truth Blavatsky revealed is that during sleep, your soul regularly travels through astral realms and invisible worlds that interpenetrate our physical dimension. This isn't fantasy or imagination, but the soul's natural ability to explore reality beyond the limitations of dense matter. In her extensive writings, Blavatsky described the astral plane as the immediate invisible world surrounding and permeating the physical realm. This dimension contains the ethereal doubles of all physical objects, thought forms created by human consciousness, and various grades of subtle matter that respond to mental energy. During sleep, when consciousness withdraws from physical senses, the soul automatically gains access to astral perception. What we interpret as dreams are often actual experiences in these subtle realms, filtered through the symbolism necessary for the physical brain to process non-physical experiences. Blavatsky taught that skilled practitioners can learn to maintain full consciousness during these astral excursions, exploring distant locations, visiting other souls, and studying in the great libraries of accumulated human knowledge that exist on subtle planes. This explains accounts of people receiving complex information or visiting places they've never seen physically. The astral body, connected to the physical by the silver cord, can travel instantaneously to any location simply by focused intention. Distance has no meaning in these realms, and time operates differently, allowing for experiences that would be impossible in physical reality. However, Blavatsky warned that not all astral experiences are elevated. The lower astral contains thought forms of humanity's fears, desires, and negative emotions. Without proper spiritual preparation and protection, the soul might encounter confusing or disturbing elements that manifest as nightmares or troubled sleep. The goal is to purify consciousness so thoroughly that astral travel becomes conscious exploration of higher realms where genuine spiritual learning occurs. Chapter 6. The Silver Cord, Your Lifeline Between Worlds. Blavatsky revealed one of the most crucial aspects of sleep consciousness, the silver cord that maintains connection between the soul exploring subtle realms and the physical body, requiring protection and life force. Understanding this ethereal lifeline is essential for anyone seeking to explore the hidden dimensions of sleep safely. In Isis Unveiled, Blavatsky described the silver cord as an actual energetic connection visible to clairvoyant sight, appearing as a luminous thread extending from the solar plexus region of the physical body to the corresponding area of the astral form. This cord serves multiple vital functions during the soul's nightly journeys. The cord transmits life force from the soul to maintain physical body functions during sleep. It also serves as a communication channel, allowing experiences in subtle realms to be transmitted back to the brain for potential memory upon awakening. Most importantly, it acts as an automatic recall mechanism that instantly returns consciousness to the body when needed. Blavatsky taught that the strength and luminosity of this cord reflects the individual's spiritual development and physical vitality. In healthy individuals with advanced spiritual practice, the cord appears bright and flexible, allowing for extensive astral travel while maintaining perfect safety. In those with depleted vitality or negative spiritual influences, the cord may appear dim or constrained. The great occultist emphasized that the silver cord cannot be severed except at the moment of actual death. This natural protection means that even the most extensive astral travel during sleep poses no danger to physical survival. However, sudden shock or fear can cause rapid return to the body, sometimes resulting in the jarring sensation of falling that many people experience while falling asleep. Understanding the silver cord's function allows practitioners to explore sleep consciousness with confidence, knowing they remain safely connected to physical life while their souls journey through invisible worlds. Chapter 7. Dream Symbolism Through Blavatsky's Occult Lens. Blavatsky revolutionized dream interpretation by revealing that dream symbolism operates according to universal occult principles rather than personal psychology alone. In The Secret Doctrine, She explained that dreams serve as a bridge between the soul's experiences in subtle realms and the limited symbolic capacity of the physical brain. The symbols appearing in dreams aren't random neural firings but meaningful representations of spiritual realities translated into forms the waking consciousness can potentially understand. Water, for example, universally represents emotional or astral experiences. Fire symbolizes mental or spiritual energies. Animals often represent instinctual forces or elemental beings encountered on subtle planes. Blavatsky taught that certain dream symbols have consistent meanings across all cultures because they reflect actual archetypal forces operating in invisible worlds. Mountains represent spiritual aspiration and higher consciousness. Descending into caves or underground spaces indicates exploration of subconscious or past life memories. Flying dreams often represent actual astral projection experiences. The great occultist emphasized that interpreting dreams requires understanding the dreamer's level of spiritual development. The same symbol might represent different realities depending on whether the soul accessed lower astral, higher mental, or causal planes during sleep. Advanced souls receive more direct spiritual instruction, while beginning students might experience symbolic teachings. Blavatsky also revealed that some dreams are prophetic, showing probable future events based on karmic patterns already set in motion. These visions come from the soul's ability to perceive the causal realm, where future possibilities exist as present realities. The key to accurate dream interpretation lies in developing spiritual discrimination and understanding the universal language of symbolism that operates throughout all invisible worlds. Regular study of occult principles gradually awakens this interpretive ability. Chapter 8. Preparing your consciousness for spiritual sleep. Blavatsky emphasized that the quality of sleep experiences depends entirely on how consciousness approaches the transition from waking to sleeping states. In The Voice of the Silence, she provided specific practices for preparing the mind and soul for productive spiritual sleep that maximizes evolutionary benefits. The preparation begins hours before actual sleep through mindful attention to thoughts, emotions, and activities during the day. Consuming spiritual literature, engaging in selfless service, and maintaining harmonious relationships create positive mental impressions that influence the quality of sleep experiences. The evening hours require particular care. Blavatsky advised avoiding stimulating entertainment, negative conversations, or heavy foods that could disturb the subtle bodies. Instead, she recommended gentle spiritual study, meditation, or contemplation of elevated themes that would create conducive conditions for soul travel. Immediately before sleep, the practitioner should conduct a brief but sincere review of the day, acknowledging mistakes with genuine remorse and gratitude for growth opportunities. This self-examination assists the soul's nightly karmic review and demonstrates readiness for spiritual guidance. Blavatsky taught specific invocations for protection and guidance during sleep. By mentally calling upon one's higher self, spiritual guides, or the divine source for protection and instruction, the soul creates magnetic attraction for elevated experiences while repelling lower astral influences. The physical sleeping environment also requires attention. The room should be clean, well ventilated, and free from disturbing influences. Sleeping with the head toward the north aligns with planetary magnetic forces that facilitate astral projection. Most importantly, the practitioner should fall asleep with a sincere intention to use the sleep period for spiritual growth rather than mere physical rest. This conscious intention programs the subtle bodies for meaningful exploration rather than confused dreaming. Chapter 9. Nightmares and Lower Astral Encounters. While Blavatsky revealed the elevated possibilities of sleep consciousness, she also warned extensively about the dangers lurking in the lower astral realm that can manifest as nightmares, disturbing dreams, and psychic attacks during vulnerable sleep states. In Isis Unveiled, Blavatsky described the lower astral as humanity's collective unconscious dumping ground, filled with thought forms of fear, hatred, lust, and violence accumulated over centuries. When consciousness operates through unpurified astral bodies during sleep, it can encounter these negative entities and experience them as terrifying nightmares. These encounters aren't imaginary, but represent actual contact with what Blavatsky called elementaries, the decaying astral shells of deceased humans who lived degraded lives, and elementals, artificial beings created by intense negative emotions. Such entities feed on fear and can attach themselves to individuals who frequently access lower astral levels. The great occultist taught that certain conditions make people particularly vulnerable to these negative influences during sleep. Physical exhaustion, emotional turmoil, moral corruption, or dabbling in harmful occult practices can weaken the protective barriers around consciousness, allowing unwanted intrusions. Recurring nightmares often indicate that the soul is processing deep karmic patterns or confronting shadow aspects that require conscious attention. Rather than dismissing these experiences, Blavatsky advised careful analysis to understand what spiritual lesson or purification is being demanded. Protection during sleep requires more than mere intention. It demands actual purification of character and spiritual development. Those who live selflessly, practice regular meditation, and maintain pure thoughts create natural barriers against lower astral influences. When negative experiences occur, Blavatsky recommended immediate spiritual practices upon awakening: prayer, meditation, or reading uplifting texts to cleanse the aura and re-establish connection with higher influences. Chapter 10. Advanced Practices for Conscious Sleep. For students ready to progress beyond passive sleep experiences, Blavatsky outlined advanced practices that enable conscious control over sleep states and deliberate exploration of invisible worlds. These techniques require dedicated spiritual development and should only be attempted by those with established meditation practice and moral purification. The first practice involves maintaining a thread of awareness while the physical body falls asleep. This requires learning to relax the body completely while keeping the mind alert and observant. As consciousness begins to withdraw from physical senses, the practitioner observes the process rather than becoming unconscious. Blavatsky taught a specific technique for conscious astral projection during sleep onset. As the body relaxes, the practitioner visualizes their astral form gently rising from the physical body while remaining connected by the silver cord. With practice, this visualization becomes actual separation that can be consciously controlled. The second advanced practice involves programming specific intentions before sleep. Rather than general requests for guidance, the practitioner formulates precise questions or asks to visit particular locations or teachers. The soul then seeks these specific experiences during its nightly travels. Dream recall becomes crucial for advanced practitioners. Blavatsky recommended keeping detailed dream journals, recording not only visual content but also emotions, sensations, and intuitive impressions. Patterns emerge that reveal the soul's preferred methods of communication and instruction. The most advanced practice involves lucid dreaming, maintaining full consciousness while the soul operates in subtle realms. This allows for deliberate study, healing work, and service to other souls during sleep hours. However, Blavatsky warned that such abilities must only be used for spiritual purposes, never for personal gain or curiosity. These practices should be developed gradually under guidance from qualified teachers, as premature forcing can damage the subtle bodies or attract unwanted astral attention. Chapter 11. Sleep Patterns and Spiritual Evolution. Blavatsky revealed that an individual's sleep patterns, dreams, and nocturnal experiences provide precise indicators of their spiritual evolution and karmic development. Understanding these patterns allows practitioners to assess their progress and identify areas requiring focused development. In the earlier stages of spiritual awakening, sleep tends to be heavy and dreamless, as consciousness struggles to operate beyond physical limitations. Dreams, when they occur, are typically chaotic reflections of daily concerns with little spiritual significance. This indicates the soul is still heavily bound to material existence. As spiritual practice develops, dreams become more vivid and meaningful. The soul begins accessing higher astral levels, where experiences have greater coherence and spiritual content. Symbolic teachings appear more frequently, and occasional contact with guides or deceased souls occurs. Advanced practitioners experience increasing periods of conscious awareness during sleep. They report extensive astral travel, detailed instruction from spiritual teachers, and participation in higher realm activities. Sleep becomes as active and purposeful as waking hours, though focused on spiritual rather than material concerns. Blavatsky taught that the ultimate goal is achieving continuity of consciousness, maintaining awareness through all states, including sleep, dreams, and eventually death itself. At this level, the distinction between sleeping and waking disappears as consciousness operates freely across all planes of existence. The quality of morning awakening also indicates spiritual development. Those still bound to lower consciousness wake sluggishly, often feeling more tired than before sleep. Advancing souls wake refreshed and often inspired, carrying clear memories of spiritual instruction or meaningful dreams. Sleep disturbances, insomnia, or excessive sleeping often indicate karmic or spiritual imbalances requiring attention. Blavatsky advised addressing these through spiritual practice rather than merely physical remedies. Chapter 12. Transforming your relationship with sleep forever. After revealing the profound mysteries of sleep consciousness, Blavatsky emphasized that this knowledge must transform our entire relationship with the 8 hours we spend unconscious each night. No longer can sleep be viewed as mere physical rest or unavoidable unconsciousness. It becomes a sacred opportunity for spiritual advancement. The first transformation involves recognizing sleep as equal in importance to waking hours for spiritual development. Just as we carefully plan daytime activities for maximum benefit, we must approach sleep with equal intentionality and preparation. This means establishing regular sleep schedules that honor the soul's need for consistent spiritual practice. Blavatsky taught that bedroom spaces should be considered temples where nightly spiritual work occurs. The environment requires the same respect and preparation given to meditation spaces, clean, harmonious, and dedicated to higher purposes. Physical comfort supports spiritual exploration, while disturbances impede the soul's nocturnal journey. The practice of conscious sleep preparation becomes as important as morning meditation or evening prayer. The few minutes before falling asleep offer precious opportunities to set spiritual intentions, request guidance, and align consciousness with evolutionary goals, rather than merely seeking physical restoration. Most revolutionary is recognizing that sleep experiences provide guidance and instruction equal to any daytime spiritual practice. Dreams, inspirations upon awakening, and subtle impressions from the night hours deserve the same careful attention given to meditation experiences or study insights. Finally, Blavatsky revealed that mastering sleep consciousness accelerates spiritual evolution more rapidly than almost any other practice. When 8 hours of each day become periods of active spiritual work rather than unconscious void, the soul's progress multiplies exponentially. This transformed relationship with sleep represents one of humanity's greatest untapped resources for spiritual advancement, offering each individual the opportunity to literally double their conscious time available for evolution toward divine reunion.